Hello guys, NewGet here. Welcome to another match of Littlewargame. Today I am bringing you a live match played between Rynus on the bottom, on the map of, it's not Cursed Temple, I think it's, I forget the name of this map. I'll have it in the title of the video, but on this map. So yes, Rynus playing the red pieces versus his opponent, WeirdRat playing the blue pieces in the top right corner of the map. So this is going to be an interesting game. Obviously, I've never seen it before because it's happening in real time. I'm spectating with another person. So there's two spectators in this game. So myself and another person, and then there's two players duking it out on the map, and that'll be really cool to check out. So looks like at this point, let's go ahead and look at production. Looks like WeirdRat is going for the standard barracks opening, getting that first raider, while his opponent Rynus is going for a typical, at least typical for him, opening where he goes into a workshop. I think this could be pretty interesting. I feel like if Rynus goes for this opening, which he does typically go for that opening, I feel like the more that people will end up watching him, might realize that it's a pretty strong build, and this might actually start becoming the new standard, but it'll be really good to see. It looks like Air J is the other spectator on this map. So pretty interesting. So like I said earlier, for standard, getting this raider opening, and then it looks like he's got another raider in production, another worker in production. By the time that this worker is done being produced, WeirdRat should have his second base being made, as well as another worker on the way. So that's a pretty nice timing for a second base. Looks like with Rynus's timing, he's able to get this Gatling gun out for defense, as well as a worker starting on the second base. This is pretty good defensive positioning, because if this raider decides to go in for some harassment, this worker can go off the castle here and start repairing. And so it looks like WeirdRat is going for a little bit of offense in that regard, really trying to go for that worker. I wonder how he'll be able to micro that this second raider, because this is usually the hardest part of the game for myself, because while this is all going on, you kind of have to prepare your supplies. So you should be making another house at this point. You should be producing, and then it's really easy to float like a bunch of minerals when you're microing during this part. He just starts to transfer a little bit before he needs to, but it is going to be right in time for when this second base is ready to go, and he goes back to worker production, which is absolutely fantastic play by him. WeirdRat, I'm pretty confident WeirdRat is a better player than I am. I've played against him before, and he's got a lot of skill. He makes a lot of good decisions, and he's pretty skilled at this game. And I know for myself that early aggression is really tricky, right? Because you've got to be focused. You got to have like so much on your mind, so much multitasking going on at the same time, like microing your production while microing this raider, all this kind of thing. So it's pretty exciting. All right, looks like Rynus is going for a wall off here. So making sure that that WeirdRat doesn't get any units into the side, sneaks into his second base and starts killing workers. Instead, what Rynus is doing is he's getting his well, actually this is actually kind of early. from what I've seen from Rynus. Typically, what I've seen is that Rynus likes to harass with this gyrocraft while producing more at home, and then keeping his army in a defensive spot. It looks like we see WeirdRat is trying to go for this third base, which might actually trigger Rynus to go for an all-in pretty soon here. That's typically what I see. So Rynus usually pulls like half of his workers, he takes these Gatling guns and he moves them across the map, especially if he sees that his opponent doesn't have very much army going on. WeirdRat doing a very nice thing that I noticed for my own play as well, where he leaves like an archer or two at each base to defend the workers from any gyrocraft that are coming along. It's very nice, very defensive. And like I was saying earlier, being able to see that WeirdRat got onto 3 bases really is going to start triggering Rynus to be aggressive here, especially if he's got a larger worker advantage than his opponent, or rather a larger army difference than his opponent. Looks like he decided to stop. It doesn't look like this is lag. It looks like he must have pressed a stop button. So far, so good. I haven't seen much lag at all. Looks like WeirdRat is sending out a soldier to try and scout what his opponent is going for. And now Rynus's army has arrived. WeirdRat is pulling workers to try and deflect this force. At this point, I think he's done a very good job, actually. He's killed a worker. He's got a couple workers very low. He's done a lot of good damage. Apparently, some of these workers aren't on auto repair. I think if they would be on auto repair, well, no, he was kiting his workers. Never mind. You can't really do anything when you're kiting your workers. But typically, when they're on auto repair, gives the Gatling guns a lot more survivability. Rynus decides to, instead of go for the all-in, move up to a third base and try and play this economic game with WeirdRat. I'd like to see WeirdRat actually transfer some of these workers to his third, because it's oversaturated now. I'm sure he'll see that right away and make it happen. Looks like Rynus is also, no, WeirdRat playing the RAX is now going for 3 barracks while on 3 bases, and going for his first tech structure, which is going to be this advanced workshop. So both players assembling their assembling their armies. We got archers versus Gatling guns on move command, and then some kiting from WeirdRat. Getting to this top part right here is going to be very defensive because Rynus won't have vision of this army. I would move these workers out to try and get us around on that army. Okay, gotta keep an eye on production here. Rynus, while this is all happening at home, he's producing these catapults. He's going in for these workers, definitely trying to do a lot of damage. At the same time, Rynus is obviously trying to produce the army to deflect this kind of aggression. And now that Rynus lost his workers that were part of his army, he's really going to be forced to really kind of back off, especially if he doesn't want to lose resources and remain cost efficient. Actually, let's go ahead and look at that cost efficiency. So as we can see here, total, Rynus has only lost 345 resources worth of stuff, while his opponent has lost almost 900 resources. So basically, Rynus is less than or more than half efficient. I don't know what the right wording for that is, but he's being very efficient, having only lost, let's see, 1 Gatling gun and 5 workers in total this entire game. So very, very cost efficient, very, very healthy for him. Keeping an eye on production. So looks like both of these players, after that initial aggression, both of these players are doing a very nice job of maintaining a healthy balance between economy as well as producing an army to defend that economy. Got a little bit of supply cap for WeirdRat. I'd like to see him, build a house so that he doesn't end up supply blocked for very long. Rynus sending over this gyrocraft to kind of scout if WeirdRat does go for this 4th base, as well as to just be a nuisance overall. And the fact that Rynus scouted that he had a 4th base, again, really prompts him to be aggressive. Because if Rynus doesn't go for a 4th base, he's going to lose economically. Except that he's done a very good job of staying cost efficient, so maybe that won't even work. But overall, I think it's really important that he gets to a good point. I saw earlier that ballistas were being made, but I think he changed over into an airship, which WeirdRat is producing at the moment. 4 workers at a time, as well as producing army. And this might actually be the final engagement of this match. And so, yes, these catapults are absolutely devastating when you have a lot of them, actually. Oh, Rynus was the one that was producing ballista. He may have been able to scout earlier that WeirdRat was going for a fortress, and as a result went into ballista production. Oh, I like this move. I wish WeirdRat was kiting this a little bit better. But when the catapults were exposed on their own, I really liked seeing WeirdRat get aggressive there. So very good kiting from both of these players. The struggle here is that as they're both having to kite and focus intensely on what's going on, their macro play is going to suffer. So as you can see, WeirdRat is 600 resources, 700, and Rynus is at 200. So I mean, doing a better job of macroing. Overall, I suspect, I may be wrong, but I suspect that WeirdRat is going to be able to survive from this. He's now saying that he had like 1,000 resources, and he's begun to spend some of those. But I would suspect that he'll be able to live. I don't know if that's going to be true though, because I think he lost a little bit of attention on what's going on here. These soldiers coming in, taking out those ballista, but these catapults, the damage that they're able to produce in this game is quite extreme. Going for another 4th base. Personally, I would like to see a little bit more barracks on the map. Like, more barrack production means that you can build an army a lot faster. Towers really lose to catapults, so there's not really much you could do there. I think, well, we can definitely see. I'll say what I wanted to say in a little bit, probably right after this match ends, because it definitely looks like we're coming to a close here, especially with these catapults being able to do the damage that they are producing, these Gatling guns taking care of the soldiers in front, and being able to simply attack move onto his opponent's 3rd base. His opponent, though, WeirdRat, is going for a 5th base, and I'll go ahead and say what I wanted to say now. I think going for advanced workshop to produce those airships and potentially ballista against those gyrocraft, I think that's the one move that loses you the game. And I'm in no way trying to criticize WeirdRat. Like I said earlier, I think he's a better player than I am. But I found that in my own games, especially going against this kind of play, if I go advanced workshop, I won't have the army, or I won't have the tech to deal with this kind of play. So I've found going for typically I've found going for beast play when I know that my opponent is going mech is the way to go, because that enables you to get dragons, which enables you to freely attack these ground units. But the opponents say GG, well played. Looks like WeirdRat is about to leave the game. So very well played by both opponents. I think those first, I would say 6 minutes of that game was really well played, especially how WeirdRat was able to produce the army to really bounce Rynus's force from being able to do so much damage. And I really appreciated how they were both able to go onto 4 bases, eventually 5, and kind of 6 for WeirdRat actually, and really try and play this game out. All right, guys. Well, if you enjoyed this game, go ahead and leave a like. Make sure to subscribe because I try and make daily content every single day. I know I'm in college, and I don't think I've said that before or told people, but sometimes it's harder for me to get a video out every single day. But I try and be consistent, and if you enjoy what I produce, I'm really hoping to get to see you in the next videos. All right, guys. I hope you have a good day. See you around.